underneath the fate in my mercy. It's suicide in my heartbeat. You said by me. You said I'd always have a home. You said they'd never get to me. You'd never leave. So I got here on my own. Where did our love go? Where did our love go? We leave them behind when racing so low. Where did our love go? They say when our doors close, we can find our way up through an open window.
This isn't what I had in mind. This isn't how I will find a light that will lead me home. This isn't what I had in mind. This isn't how I just find this path my feet tread, this separate
I'm just sick of seeing life cut short in noises. But if we have each other, the stars become something we can reach out and touch, with an ember returning to the tips of our fingers to light brilliant fires and bring us on to both a desperately yearn to feel wanting constantly to will in pitch black night covered in tears. It's so easy to feel alone in these four walls. Don't go into that night. Rage against the dying light. Rage against the dying light. Regret. Listen with the fight. Rage against the sky. Rage against your blood. Rage against the thoughts that lock you in your own mind. Cry, run for life. Rage your broken soul. Rage, I need you to always know that even if it takes me to the brink of it all, I've been searching for the end of my world and the entrance to yours. To step past each other and feel no close. Trust me, and we'll make it through the night.
This isn't what I had in mind. This isn't how I will find a light that will lead me home. This isn't what I had in mind. This isn't how I just find this path my feet tread, this somber road.
And now for your weekly dose of metal. Here are your hosts, Morgan Danielle and Luco Blaze on the Metal Experience.
All right. Once again, we are the Metal Experience. I am Morgan Danielle with webmaster Greg. That's somewhere wandering around here filming
Greg
things.
Master.
Greg Master. He's our metal superhero. And we opened the show with a couple awesome tracks, one being Gravewalker from our friends in Central Disorder. And they
Hell
are
yeah.
actually opening up at Top Fuel Saloon on Friday, and then Saturday at Penny Road Pub with our friends in Serpents for Mark Rizzo. So you can grab tickets off the band or go to each website for Top Fuel Saloon or Penny Road Pub. and grab tickets. Go see Central Disorder. And the other song we heard was Somber by our friends in Arabella. And that is up on YouTube with an official music video. So, awesome. Well, we are down Luco Blaze tonight because he's super lame and decided he was playing hockey tonight.
Man, fuck that guy and his hockey.
Not his fault, though. That got scheduled out of his hands. So he will be back next week. But this week we'll keep you entertained. Greg and I are here, don't worry. And we are hanging out with the first time on our show, the guys in, and it's one words, MetalBrook.
Hello.
Woo!
Yeah. Thanks
Hell
for having
yeah,
us.
absolutely. Thanks so much for making the drive down.
No problem.
Where'd you come from?
We are out of Gurnee, Illinois.
Oh, okay, up north.
Yeah,
Yep.
up there.
Way up
Thanks
there.
for being obvious, Greg. No, I'm kidding. There's other people that have no idea where Gurnee is. So.
Yeah, we have a lot of Filipino fans from what I understand.
Oh.
Is that Wisconsin?
That's up north too.
That's all Chicago.
So the
Let's
guys in MetalBrook are on with us tonight. We've got plenty of music, some awesome stories to tell, and you're in for a fun night. Let's go right into it. So go ahead and introduce yourselves, what you guys do in the band, and if you're missing anyone tonight.
Well, I am Ryu. I am the lead vocalist.
Oh, I guess let's go. My name is Kurt. I am the bassist for MetalBrook.
My name's Xavier. I'm the lead guitarist.
I'm Coz. I play drums.
And this is everyone? We're not
Yep,
missing
this is
anyone?
everyone.
Awesome.
We
The
are.
whole band.
4-piece.
So let's go into the interesting story of how you guys all fell in love and started a band.
Ooh, how did we fall in love?
Do you want to start that? Or
Yeah,
should,
let's pass it over to you.
Yeah.
X.
To me, oh man, where do I even
Uh,
You got to go way back to the beginning.
In the way back.
Oh man, so when we first started this group, it was called True Scent of Death. Oh,
True
man.
Scent?
True Scent of Death.
Okay.
Man, how do I even get started with this?
That's a badass name.
I know, right?
Yeah, it does sound badass. So my buddy, he ate a lot of cheese for a whole week. And then
Nice.
it took him a little bit. He's like, "Hey, I haven't shit in a little bit." I'm like, "Something's kind of going on here." So he goes to the doctor. Doctor puts a little pill up his butt.
Wait, are you for serious?
I'm so serious here. So,
This is a very colorful story.
oh yeah, we're getting
Oh,
real
Dude,
right away.
I haven't heard this version.
Oh yeah.
You holding on
So-
on us.
When you're on the metal experience, everything comes
It's an
out.
exclusive.
Literally,
We did a
literally
video.
and
So we-
figuratively.
We did a video and we told this story, and
Yeah.
you were there. How do
Wait,
you not remember
he
this?
didn't tell
You
this
did a
part of the
video of this
story.
guy shitting out cheese?
No, like a detail, but like I did not remember him having
They
shit,
did.
like put up his ass.
Oh yeah.
Oh
So
my
he's
God.
shitting so bad, and it came to him. He's like, "Yo, this is the true scent of death right here."
Oh my god.
And that is where the original name came from. And then a couple months later,
Now long forgotten.
yeah, long forgotten. And then
So you kicked him out because he smelled so bad.
oh yeah, it was the cheese.
Okay.
It was just too much blue cheese. It doesn't work.
Ew. Well, that's where you went wrong. You went for the blue cheese. That's mold.
That's the no cheese.
Gotta go for the Gouda.
There we go. That's a good choice.
Oh man. But no, I think after that, band started leaving left and right, and then I think you discovered Ryu.
Hello.
And guys started doing like band stuff, like making music and stuff like that. But it was like with a few other people, and then they also left.
Yeah. So when I was actually going to college at the time, the College of Lake County, and one of our mutual friends, he came up to me one day and he's like, "Hey, I've heard you sing before. You sound really good. My friend has a band and he's looking for a vocalist." I'm like, "All right, cool. Dope." So, I met with X and I auditioned, and from there, we just started working with each other. So when I came onto the band, it was myself, X, our friend Eliu, and then for a very, very short amount of time was my girlfriend at the time, Tiara. And then, unfortunately, due to time constraints and the other two couldn't really show up to practice, we decided, all right, well, let's just do this, you and me, and we'll go from there. And
And that's pretty much where Tycho came up to me. Alias, sorry, we have a nickname for that guy. But
All
he
the
came.
nicknames.
Yeah, right. Trying hard to like to use real names. It's trying to all the years to use the nicknames, it kind of just stick there. But he went up to me and told me about same thing, with Rio, saying like, hey, there's this guy that wants to start a band, and since you play bass, you'd be perfect for it. And I think I met X at his house actually
Yeah,
because
it's
we're
like at a barbecue or something.
yeah we were trying to do a what was it, an instrumental of a Metallica song.
No, it was Metalocalypse.
No, I'm pretty sure it was the no, that was the other guy.
You guys learned Orion at one point.
Yeah, that was it. It was Orion, but we couldn't do it because we were getting bitten up by mosquitoes, so we just stopped. We just gave up. But that's when me and him clicked at that point and felt like, yo, all right, cool, we could do this. And then a couple of years later, we started making songs, and then pretty much just put our ideas into this whole MetalBrook
So
thing.
what year was this?
What year was this?
Man,
Maybe
I
2010.
yeah, I joined the band right around 2010 because I think I was in my sophomore year of college.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
And then fast forward a couple years later, and through multiple lineup changes, and then
Multiple.
stories.
Oh man.
But no, now now that I think about it, you should tell them how True Scent of Death became MetalBrook.
So it started with that 70s show Circle. After a couple rounds, it's like, hey man, your last name is MetalBrook, right? You should name your band MetalBrook. And I was like, no, that's stupid. What are you talking about? Sober up, I wake up, and I was like, hey, that's fucking brilliant, actually.
And lo and behold, look
Yeah.
where we are right now.
So you're Fez.
I'm Fez.
Okay.
Once again, I'd like to point out that I have not heard this version of the story.
What? I'm sure
And,
I've
and
told
the
you.
end table is Fez.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, pretty
I'm
much.
Fez. Who's foreman?
And who's Hyde?
Honestly, I would have to say Coase is probably the foreman.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would think you're more Hyde than anybody else because you're
Why
like
am I
super
the
chill.
foreman?
Because your dad's kind of a hard ass. I'm not gonna lie.
It's
That's
true.
That's not a good reason why.
What are you talking about? Red is the hard ass. That's why you would be.
Wait, no. Actually, I think Ryu would probably be foreman because actually, compared to
Yeah.
his dad and
You
your
know
dad,
what? That makes sense. I'd probably
Yeah.
be foreman because my dad is very traditional, old school Mexican. He's kind of a hard guy. Doesn't really talk all that much, and he kind of. He's gotten so old to the point where he's down to like grunts and like very very distinctive like neck and body movements. It's really
Oh, yeah,
it's
that
really
neck
funny.
work. I saw him dance through the neck. Oh God!
your father has a neck of a pigeon. I'm just gonna tell you that right now.
It's like, how do you do that?
I think I would be like the Kelso, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
I have to put myself in there, honestly.
All right, so we're missing how we found the last member of the lineup.
That's true.
Yes, I'm so sorry, Coz. I forgot you were there. No,
I'm used to it.
So, for the longest time, it was just the three of us. It was me, X, and Kurt. And then I was dating a different girl at the time, and she was real supportive of the band. And she noticed that we didn't have a drummer, so she's like, "Hey, I know this guy who can."
You don't have a drummer up
We didn't
until
have a
this
drummer
point.
for the longest time.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
just
man,
noticed
the
you're
longest
missing a
time.
massive drum kit.
Yeah.
Honestly, like
Oh,
what
jeez.
was the shows you usually do? Like it was like in like
man.
backyards
So, man,
at your apartment.
embarrassing.
Yeah, it was just like
Gotta make it work.
Yeah, we did a garage show for my birthday one year, so that was pretty fun. We were vastly inexperienced with
Yep.
really shitty equipment, but we made it work.
We've grown.
But no, girlfriend. Nice. So my girlfriend at the time, she suggested that we get in contact with this guy Zach, who could play drums. Right. So I got in contact with him. After going back and forth a little bit, we met up, and it turns out he didn't actually have a kit that he could use.
Yeah.
he was using Koz's kit. So when we first met,
He hit me up and he was just like, "Hey, I'm auditioning for this band MetalBrook. Can I use your drum set?" And I was just like, "Okay, sure."
Yeah, I mean, Zach was still in
A whole bunch of like other stuff at that time.
Well,
honestly,
well, not that. Like, he was with you with when you guys were doing.
Yeah, we were in. Him and I were in projects together for a couple years before he was contacted by your girlfriend at the time.
Mhm.
The funny thing about that is that your girlfriend at the time actually used to date one of the members from one of my past projects, and she's been over to one of our practices, and she knows that I'm a drummer, but she recommended Zach and not me.
I always thought that was weird, but
Yeah,
I mean,
like, why?
also she's a dumb hoe.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
come on, bro. We know who the dumb hoe is, but it's definitely not that one. Anyway, so we did a couple practices, and then at one point we picked up a rhythm guitarist, and we were all trying to kind of fit into this like really small shed. It was a lot more packed than it is now. And after a while, we decided that our rhythm guy wasn't going to work because he wasn't quite as skilled as X was, because X has a very distinct style of playing, and unfortunately, our buddy, you know, who was our rhythm, he couldn't really keep up, so we had to kind of say goodbye to him. He was real cool about it.
Plus the like personal stuff that he was going through. And
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
So then,
You got him a cup of coffee.
yeah, we did get him a cup of coffee.
We're talking about that guy.
Yeah.
I thought we were still on Zach.
Old guy.
We'll get to Zach. We'll get to Zach.
Oh God,
There could
that
be a
was
whole-
horrible.
this
That
whole
was
podca-
scary.
What kind of coffee did he drink?
It was just straight
regular
coffee. It was
coffee.
regular coffee.
Just coffee.
Stupid potent. Oh God.
I don't
Like,
think he'd ever had coffee before, because when we gave it to him, like maybe 20 minutes later, he was like tweaking.
He's
Like,
like, I need to run. Like, let's go.
and then when we were gonna go drop him off, we were gonna drop him off at his place, and he's like, "Oh, just let me off right here." I'm like, "Dude, are you sure it's like 10 o'clock at night?"
Right?
And-
Like, you're a little guy. Like,
Right. No, so we had 5 in our lineup, right? And Zach switched from drums to rhythm guitar because he sucks at drums, and Coase became our permanent drummer. You know,
Which was a good choice.
which was the best choice, honestly, because
My original place in the band was the keyboard player.
what were we thinking?
we were trying to make everybody fit.
At the moment, you guys didn't want to make executive decisions.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, that's kind of a part of being in the band. It's about like doing things that benefit the band, and not so much as like keeping your friends together. Like sometimes you just have to make sacrifices like that. It's
Yeah.
it's a hard thing, but you know that's just the way things go
It's just
sometimes.
good business.
It's just good business. Yeah, over time we've definitely become better at making those executive decisions and not worrying so much about people's feelings, so to speak.
Yeah, fuck their
So to
feelings.
speak. But they matter too.
I mean, honestly, it's much better to kind of be straight up with your friends like that, because it's like if you don't want to keep a member in your band who, just because they're your good friends, but they can't keep up with your music.
Yeah.
Because then feelings fester over time. You think that like this member isn't pulling their own weight, and it becomes something that that you don't want it to become.
Oh yeah.
I definitely learned that.
Yeah, I think we all have.
Yeah. Honestly, he was when we asked him to leave, he was real cool with it. I mean, obviously he was a little bit hurt by it, but once we explained it to him, he was all right.
Yeah.
So altogether with this lineup,
This
How
is our
long-
this is our permanent
how
lineup.
long has it been?
This lineup,
Man.
2015.
2015, so
4 years.
4 years. Yeah.
Man, years just go by. I had totally
know.
forgot.
Yeah, for real.
Jeez.
It honestly
Oh
doesn't
my
feel that long ago, you know, that we were all
No.
trying to like we were kind of feeling each other out and seeing what would work and what wouldn't, trying different things with 2 separate projects, because we had MetalBrook and then we had Coase's side project, which we tried to integrate into our stuff, but I
Yeah,
think
we did.
I think Coase ultimately made the decision to kind of break off from that.
Yeah, that's I don't know. As much as those old songs, I like those old songs. It's like they're not MetalBrook material.
Yeah.
And
So
that's just the way things are.
The music that you brought tonight, the album is Darkness Is.
Yes.
When did you record this?
Last year.
Awesome.
August.
year, yeah.
Well, we released it August of 2018.
Yep. We had a
So-
release show and everything. It was great.
Oh yeah, people were loving it. Getting along with it. Just honestly, it felt happy just hearing people sing like one of our songs. Honestly.
Yeah.
Well, let's open up the show and introduce the world to MetalBrook. the first two tracks that you guys want to feature tonight, what are the first tracks you want to have our listeners hear?
Immortal and Soldiers?
I was gonna say Immortal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotta be Immortal.
All right.
And Soldiers.
So Immortal and Soldiers?
We are Immortal.
We are Immortal,
the
and we are
Soldiers.
the soldiers.
Awesome. And then we'll talk about those when we come back in. Here are the first two tracks from MetalBrook.
The walls that held us back came crumbling down by our hand. We silenced the voices and the doubts of the non-believers. And by the sound of these guitars, we change the world and make it ours. So here we come. We bring the revolution. We stand together as one. One voice, one solution. We came from nothing. Our struggles were eternal. Now by our legacy, we are immortal. We'll never stop trying to make our dreams a reality. We won't stop our fighting until the world screams our name. Now take the stage, look to the crowd and feel the pride. Just let it out. So now we come, we bring the revolution. We stand together as one. One voice, one solution. We came from nothing. Our struggles were eternal. Now by our legacy,
What's going on? I'm Morgan Danielle,
I'm Luco Blaze from the Metal Experience in Chicago, Illinois.
and you're listening to Small Town Mentality Podcast with your hosts, Ben and Austin.
This is Gup. This is Trent. This is Tim. And we're Heavy! And you are listening to the Metal Experience radio show, super show extravaganza, live on what the fuck network? Ah, fuck. Can you edit that?
Woo! We just heard "We Are Immortal" and "We Are the Soldiers." Hell
beautiful.
yeah, we're soldiers now.
Damn right.
What brought on inspiration for the Soldier song?
Ooh.
Oh, that's all you, man.
Yeah, you're the one with the lyrics.
So, to be completely honest with you, I
Yes,
don't
completely
really,
honest. I don't want any lies.
Don't lie to us.
to be honest with you, I stole it. No, We Are Immortal was conceived by this idea that, you know, every band has a legacy that they leave behind. You know, every band has that one song that everybody can vibe to, everybody connects with, you know, and everybody just loves, and they know all the words to the song. And, you know, we as a band, you know, we strive to create that feeling of belonging, that feeling of, you know, being included, you know, and then not only that, but we as a band want to leave our mark. We want to leave our legacy, you know, on this world before we depart it. So We Are Immortal kind of talks about that, you know, throughout the entirety of the song. It's just, you know, just the line in the chorus, you know, we are immortal, you know, the preceding line is, you know, and by our legacy, we are immortal. You know, that's kind of what we hope to, you know, get the message across. It's like, no matter, you know, where we go, no matter what happens to us, you know, 20, 30 years down the road, you know, this is our legacy, you know, and so long as people have that legacy in their hearts, we will essentially be immortal, you know. But on the other hand, this song is not just for us, you know, it's not just our anthem, it's our fans' anthem, you know, because like I said, holding on to that legacy, it you know, in your heart, you know, as you go through life, you know, it makes you immortal as well because you hold on to that, you know. So that's that song. And then for We Are the Soldiers was written kind of on a similar concept. It talks more about soldiers as kind of a metaphor. You know, it talks about soldiers, you know, overseas, like fighting, you know, in the military, and everybody's risking their lives to protect what they care about the most, you know. But it also talks about the soldiers here at home, you know, not necessarily in the military, but just in each and every one of us, where each of us is fighting our own battle, you know, whether it's visible or not. You know, everybody is dealing with something, everybody's fighting against something, you know, whether it's, you know, like personal problems, you know, mental issues or family problems or what have you, you know. But just the fact that you wake up every day, you know, and you choose to fight against that, against all odds, even against yourself, you know, that in turn makes you a soldier. So this song is not just for, like, our military and military across the world, but it's also for the soldiers here at home. So it's another one of those songs that we want people to be able to vibe with, and connect with.
Where did you guys? Oh, you had more to go off that?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, that was deep.
Where was Darkness Is recorded at?
His house.
Self-produced.
Self-produced.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of money went into it. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
we're
But that means not as much money is going to go into the next album.
Oh yeah.
True.
So, being a self-produced album, how long was the process for recording?
Oh, geez, that was
So many mixing boards.
Just like 3.
going through mixing consoles, finding the right one. Finally found the right one, and even then, like just getting a grasp on the mixing process is hard. It's like I don't know. I've recorded and I've experimented with music practically my whole life, but it's just like it's really hard working with an actual console and getting an actual DAW. Like working with Ableton or Cubase or whatever. It's like mixing is a whole different art in and of itself. It's practically as difficult as it is to actually play one of the instruments in the band. It's just a lot to take in, and it was a journey.
Yeah,
it was a journey.
It was basically like as we're like getting all this stuff together, we were still like learning steps and procedures on like what can make into a good album and stuff like that. Because like a lot of times they were just like, how do we make the instrument sound louder? How do we have the drums not bleed into everything else? And it was just like learning steps. It was just like baby steps continue going on and on and on until now we're actually like, okay, we still got what we're looking for, basically.
The most important lesson about mixing is distortion sucks.
I'm sorry.
I mean, you're not the only culprit in the band who uses distortion.
Yeah, how you doing?
Hello, our bass player.
no.
Do you play your pedal or you play your... But no, like, it was definitely a worthwhile adventure because, like, I always like to think of it as, like, creativity is all about risk. And it's like you always got to try hard and you always got to put yourself out there. And if you don't try and you put out garbage and you get made fun of for it, that's just the way it goes. But if you actually try hard and you put out something presentable that you can be proud of, even if you don't make it, that's still experience for your next endeavor.
Sure, you're right.
I'm definitely proud of what we put out, with all the grueling months of learning the programs, learning the how to work the mixing board, and it all came together so beautifully, and really, the rest of us have our sound engineer over here, Coz, because with his musical background, like we really left everything in his hands, and he just he gave us something so great that we can all be so proud of. So
Definitely.
No, you guys are too much.
So your writing process, how does that usually work amongst you?
Well, I guess that's
These two guys, the guitarist and the lead singer, honestly.
Writing it's different. It's like for me personally, I just vibe off of everything, like emotions, what I listen to, just what's going on in life. And I think what Darkness is, like me and Ryu, we definitely came together and just really vibed off each other, like what we were feeling in the moment, breakups, being sad, angry, just that kind of helped really write the music, write the first album. It's like we had the first album written way before, Jeremiah came into the band. It was, I don't know, it just kind of clicked. And then even now, like, we're still being creative. We're still writing, differently. And maybe we're not so angry all the time, but...
I'm Jeremiah, by the way. You never introduced me as that.
I'm sorry. Okay, let's go around with nicknames.
We never introduced me as that. But
let's do that.
Just for clarification, keep going.
My name is Xavier. I go by X.
My name is Mike. I go by Ryu. Yes, like Street Fighter Ryu.
I just gonna say Kurt. That's it.
He goes by Kratos. He doesn't like admitting it.
Yeah.
That's a badass name. Come on,
I don't
man.
like it.
You do realize that Kratos in Spanish means Creed. Creed. Anyway,
and you were saying X.
And then what's your nickname?
Oh, I'm Jeremiah. I go by Coz.
Yeah.
His last name is Kozer, so we kind of shortened that.
Type it down.
It was almost like a christening when he and Zach joined the band. We kind of gave them their own nicknames.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like X was saying, in the beginning, after our friend Tycho and my ex Tara left the band, X and I, we really like buckled down, and almost every other practice we were writing new material, you know, and we just had this vibe going, you know, like he would play something random, you know, just kind of
Like, play it faster.
yeah, like play it faster, throw some chugs in there, do it again, and then he would just go off, and I would sit there and I would write lyrics depending on how the riff sounded, and from that we had like a whole album's worth of material. It was so
Bunch.
crazy.
Just like our chemistry is just like, it's crazy how it just works out. You know, like I do something and you're like, hey, you know, do it again or do it backwards, and it's just bam, there's a song right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, what was the first song that you guys wrote?
Ooh,
Live My
first
Darker
song-
Self.
No,
I think it's
Carry On.
Oh, our first song that
It
we
was
ever
Broken
wrote, it actually
Outcast.
hasn't been released yet. Broken Outcast.
Oh, right. Okay. So
That thing
That
has
exclusive sneak peek.
so
been cough, cough,
the,
chop, chop.
the very, very first song that we wrote is a song called Broken Outcast. And by God, has it gone through so many revamps.
So many.
It used to have this real punk pop feel to
Yeah,
it.
it had like a Green Day kind of vibe to it.
And then we came back to it after putting it on the shelf for a while, and we tried playing it, and we are like, no, this is dumb. Let's go back.
I know, like.
I know, like, let's go back and fix this shit. So we did, and we revamped it, and then we shelved it, and we came back a little while later, and we revamped it again.
It was like
and we
4 times we revamped it.
Yep.
You're alive. You're dead. You're alive. You're dead.
Pretty much. That song.
It's like buff, nerf, buff,
We
nerf,
eventually
buff, nerf.
eventually played it live.
yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did
and
actually.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
The version that we played, pretty sure is the final version.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of the song. Yeah. And it got a really good response, and I was a little bit nervous because the song itself is different than what you hear on Darkness Is. Darkness Is has a very, what's the word? The types of metal featured on that album are very different. Each song has kind of its own genre, you know. And that was simply because we were more or less experimenting with our own sound.
Yeah, we're learning, you know.
Yeah. So when we came back to Broken Outcast, you know, we played it and we finalized it. We decided, this isn't really going to fit anywhere in the album. So let's put it away and save it for something else. So, but yeah, that was the very first song we wrote, was Broken Outcast.
So, your first song that you guys said that was released on this album that you wrote together was Carry On?
No, I think it was Live, wasn't it?
Yeah, actually,
Well,
it
we
was.
actually didn't write Live. That's an interesting story in itself, too.
Oh yeah, Liv.
Story time, kids.
Oh, another one.
So many stories.
Yeah, all the stories.
We're a very storied band. No, so
I'll light
back-
the fire and get the, marshmallows.
Oh, yeah.
dude, I could get down on some
Story time,
s'mores.
children.
No,
truck outside.
so Live My Darker Self is the 6th track, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Something
Something
like
like that.
Yeah.
And Live My Darker
Track
Self
number
wasn't
5.
Yeah,
Don't
number
quote us.
5. So Live My Darker Self wasn't actually Live My Darker Self is the only song that wasn't strictly written by X and myself. Live My Darker Self was written by our original bassist Tycho, and his lyrical content was very
Moody.
moody. Yeah, dark. It was very dark.
I
He
can
was-
feel the blanks in for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, so he gave me the lyrics and he's like, here, let's turn this into a song. And I read through it. I'm like, oh, this is the shit, and I kind of rewrote some stuff here and there just to kind of fit in with what X was bringing to the table in terms of riffs and stuff.
Yeah, that song, I don't know, like, it connected to me. Like, his lyrics were really dark, but I don't know, I just was really able to connect with it. And then from that, we were actually to make that song into a trilogy in itself.
Yeah. So the trilogy being Live My Darker Self is the first part of the trilogy, and My Dusk, which is the very last song on the track.
On the
Sorry, I
album.
got a fart in my throat.
Yeah.
And the trilogy, based off the lyrical content of the very first song, the trilogy consists of a journey through darkness, so to speak, because, darkness is awesome.
Yeah, darkness is dot, dot, dot.
Darkness.
Exactly. So Live My Darker Self kind of introduces us to this character, I think disembodied would be the right word. Just, more or less a character comes into play where, throughout the entirety of the song, he's kind of faced with these choices like, what do I do? Do I take this path of light, and be, a good person and be righteous and do the right thing? Or do I take this path of darkness and become this being of evil and make all the wrong choices? And, live my darker self is kind of that unsure tone, and I don't know which path I'm going to take. And then My Dusk, being the second in the trilogy, talks about, the character takes the path of darkness. So now he's taken the path of darkness, and the entirety of the song kind of riffs off of the first song, Live My Darker Self, and it explains that, I have taken this path, I am doing these things, I am becoming this person, but deep down I'm still looking for the answer, which would be in part 3, which is still in, the writing, very, very, very early stages of the writing process.
I'm undecided.
So.
Let's play another twofer, because we got a lot of music. The Darkness is a total of 10 tracks, and we definitely want to feature all of them tonight. What are the next two that you want to play?
Ooh, let's
I
do
would
Prelude and
Yeah.
Live.
Oh,
Prelude
Yeah.
and
Live My Darker
Live
Self.
My
Okay.
Darker Self. Sounds great. Another 2 tracks from MetalBrook here.
It's not that kind of prelude.
It's not that.
Greg just made it that way. It's here you
It's
go.
okay. He's hyping it up.
solitude, confusion I left behind, this world that I left behind, your love I left behind, live my darker self. Let it become a part of me.
Well, hi there. Hello. We know you're enjoying your current dose of metal with the people at the Metal Experience. What are their names, Ryan?
Hey, Morgan and Luco, how you doing?
Well, howdy. Should you get through with your dosage with them and find yourself still wanting metal, come see us at the Epitome of Stupidity podcast. You can find us on Podbean, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, and other places, I'm sure.
Yeah, and it's cool. It's a cool show, I must say.
Until then, back to these guys.
Bye-bye.
Bury me in the distance. Deep breaths, listen in. Tear my mind into pieces. Just watch me fall apart.
I'm Meredith.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm John, and we are Victims. And you're listening to the Metal Experience. Check out our full-length album, Volume 2, Inside the Mind, available everywhere.
All right. We are back with the Metal Experience. I am Morgan Danielle, and Webmaster has stepped out and left me once again on my own, just like Luco is not here tonight. But I am here hanging out with MetalBrook, and it's still a great time.
What's up?
We just played the prelude into Live My Darker Self.
Yep.
Live My Darker Self. Okay. Awesome. So tell me a little bit about your personal influences growing up, how you got into metal, and what you guys are jamming now.
You go ahead first, X.
Well, growing up, I was forbidden to listen to music.
Forbidden? Why?
Yes, I was growing up on a very strong Christian background.
Don't they have music that gospel is?
Gospel, oh yeah.
That's
on that gospel.
brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
For like the longest time, that's all I was ever introduced to was like gospel, the occasional R&B here and there. It wasn't until I was like maybe 16, 17, I get shown like bands like Metallica, Cradle of Filth. I'm like, what's this heavy stuff? You know, it just like inspired me because like I could never listen to it myself. I guess that's what kind of put me on this rebellious path, you know.
Fuck you, man.
Fuck you.
I'm gonna eat a goat.
I'm gonna dye my
But
hair
like
blue.
stuff like that, like they really influenced me. You know, going from like gospel to hip hop, and then actually doing my own heavy metal, and then I guess my influences for darkness would be like very strong Metallica background.
Hold on just a second.
Metallica, very strong Metallica background. But now that I've grown, I listen to everything. Like, I don't even know. Just
There was a lot of metalcore bands that you introduced me to.
what? Escape the Fates.
As I Lay Dying.
As I Lay Dying. Oh yeah, definitely them.
Yeah.
Well, As I Lay Dying was Christian until you.
They were, and that's what really inspired me
real
too. It's like how
ultimatum.
God influenced like metal. You know, it's crazy.
But he told me to kill her.
God told me to kill this one.
Tim was on some other shit, man.
Yeah, Tim was.
But I mean, they're back now.
Yeah, and they're killing it again.
Oh,
so
yeah.
good.
My Own
In a
Grave
good way,
is
though, in a good
fucking
way.
Banger.
Yeah.
I love My Own Grave.
So how do your parents feel about you being in a band and the music you're listening to now?
They're
Yeah, being
happy
big
that I'm
rock
not in
stars.
jail. You know, I'm good.
Whoa! All the clipping.
Sorry.
They're proud of what I'm making, so I'm.
That's
hope I
good.
Continue
They're
to
supportive.
please them. Yes, they are supportive.
Whoever wants to talk,
Oh,
whoever. I'm not
Let's
naming
just go
names.
down the road.
I guess I'll start with my influences. So pretty much all of my influences came from this guy to my right.
Mhm.
I was a very all around music kind of kid, because growing up I listened to everything because my mom would put on like oldies and all these old people's stations. So that's what I grew up listening to. And then once I got into like high school and stuff, I started listening to more like rock and new metal. Very heavy Linkin Park fan, And then I would listen to like alternative rock bands like Brinky Benjamin and all this other stuff. So that was kind of my shtick for a little while. And then when I met this guy, I had this predisposed, I guess, idea of what I wanted my vocals to sound like and what I wanted the music to sound like. But then he, once I heard his guitar work and he showed me some of his influences, I'm like, wow, this is pretty dope. Like I could definitely get into this. So a lot of my influences for Darkness came from bands like As I Lay Dying, All That Remains, a lot of metalcore bands. Bullet from a Valentine was a big one. It was a big one. Who else? Like he said, Escape the Fate. There was Bless the Fall. A lot of great bands to really introduce someone into the metal genre. So I really tried to kind of incorporate that metalcore feel into the lyrics and the music. And as far as my parents are concerned,
how are they?
Well, first and foremost,
They're
my parents
disappointed.
My mom, God bless her. She's always been really supportive of me. Anytime I go to see her, she's like, "Oh, how's your band doing?" The thing is, she still thinks we're a rock band, which
You've never shown her?
No.
Yeah, no, that's a no-no.
That's a no-no.
That's a no-no.
Man, do I have something to tell you?
I don't think that she would mind this.
We got some nice songs.
I
There's the
think
struggle.
that
nice
it's there's worse things you can show her.
Very
Yeah.
true.
You can show her Greg's
Cradle of
vocals.
Filth.
So
No one can hear you, Greg. You're not on a microphone.
yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I've never really thought about like legitimately showing her. I guess I could, but considering the music that she grew up with, she'd probably just think it was really loud and a lot of noise, and she'd ask questions like, "Why are you screaming like that?" Like,
I was going to say the
Mom,
same thing.
it's passion. No, but no, my mom has been very, very supportive. My dad, on the other hand, when I started with MetalBrook, and just how passionate I was to be a part of it, and how I devoted like every waking moment into writing music and playing music, my dad was very skeptical. My dad's a realist, and his whole thing was it's like, Mike, it's nice to have dreams. I'm gonna imitate my dad here for a few seconds.
Spot on.
Right.
And he would tell me, he's like, Mike, it's nice to have dreams, but you need to do something that you can fall back on. I'm like, all right, Pop. And for years, that's how. Yeah, these guys always crack up whenever I imitate my dad. But no, for years, my dad's thing was that I don't know what I'm doing, and it's just dreams, and I don't even know how to read music. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that, and this and that. It's just negativity, And don't get me wrong, I love my dad, but his realist point of view and my optimist point of view never really met, eye to eye. Always conflicting ideals. So for me, being a part of MetalBrook, it's really a driving force for me, because it's true what they say, that the best revenge you can get on someone is to prove them wrong. And a lot of why I put so much passion and so much effort into the band is to make it and make something of what we have, and to prove my dad wrong, to show him like, hey, I did this.
Have you ever showed him your music?
No. He would, just like my mom, he would just think it's noise and we don't know what the hell we're doing. But if we were to put on paper, like just every note of every song, like you'd be looking at probably a scribbled mess, but to us it makes sense. So
I think mine's a bit of mixture of exes, honestly. I never really grown up with metal. Actually, I was with a black family. We were mostly listening to nothing but R&B, slow jazz, Temptations, Michael Jackson, mostly Michael Jackson. Honestly.
Yeah, Michael Jackson.
Yeah, love me to Michael Jackson, honestly. But I think the first experience of, I don't know how could I don't want to say they were metal, but I think, what was the band called? 10 Years. I think they were kind of like. Yeah. I wouldn't say they were like metal. I think it was like kind of like a first like baby step into metal, and then I started slowly getting into like other bands like System of a Down, and then Korn mostly.
Korn.
Yeah.
Mudvayne.
I would say mostly just because a lot of like video games. Honestly, a lot of like video games I play are mostly like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, where it has like a big mixture of like you got hip hop, you got metal, you got rock and stuff like that. I think that was the reason why I got start into like the whole metal stuff. I wasn't like really like what's the word, restricted to listen to metal. I think my folks were really kind of open to it, but I had to be like kind of careful with it. That's why I was like, I think the first album I bought was a 10 Years album. I forgot what it was. It's called Wasteland, I think. And I showed it to them, and honestly, it didn't look too bad. It just like, it was a picture of a bird. So I was like, all right, fine, we'll buy it. And I started listening to it, and then I was like, oh, so this is rock music. So I started like, honestly, before when I was like dressing completely different. I would be like wearing like Adidas, fucking shit,
Trip
like
pants.
no. When I was like little, I was usually wearing like baggy pants. Like I was mostly just like a hip hop person. But then when I started getting into metal, I started dressing like more into like black, blue jeans, like vests, stuff that we're wearing basically right now. And I think when I got joined with these guys, X showed me Metallica. And then that just went into like a whole nother like doorway into other stuff like metalcore, doom metal, death metal, like all the stuff that I did not think that was like.
They
so
always say Metallica's a gateway drug.
It pretty much is, honestly. Honestly, the most like thrash metal band I really do like was probably like Anthrax when I first got into like Metallica, just because Anthrax was just.
Oh yeah,
Anthrax was just like a more like fitting home for me, just because like their power, their like aggression, just it hits me, and I just like I can't stop but just to like headbang or start doing something because it just gives me just a big like a motivation. Honestly, I actually bought one of their albums really, and then there's also Megadeth and stuff like that. But yeah, like same thing with Ryu and X. Like it would start from Metallica into like metalcore and then all stuff like that. Most like metalcore I listen to right now are like Killswitch, Parkway Drive. There's another one that's escaping me right now. I'm sorry.
Ice Nine Kills. Ice Nine Kills.
Yeah, Ice Nine Kills definitely. All right, that was the one. And then and also progressive metal, like prog metal, mostly due to our drummer because he's really into like progressive metal, and he's also into other things too, not just progressive metal, but like death metal and stuff like that. That's basically what I'm listening to now. So it was kind of like learning this new world. And as for my folks knowing about me doing a band, I actually showed my mom one of our songs.
How did that go?
I was terrified at first. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what song I would. I feel I was kind of being like I don't know. I was kind of a jokester a little bit at times because my dad was a jokester. I was gonna like let her listen to On the Road Ahead first. A really bad start, honestly, but I decided to just puss out on that one and just went to with Immortal. At first she was okay with it, but then when she wanted to listen to more, I forgot that it was On the Road Ahead. That was the next one.
Whoops.
So she was really just like, at first she was like, oh wow, this looks like, this nice, like I don't like the screaming is not my cup of tea. Which I can understand, like once again, folks.
That's how it is with most parents.
Yeah, there's some that are like
metals.
open to it, but then there's like ours who are just like, why are you screaming? It's the emotion, it's the feel. And at first she was okay with it, but then when she heard On the Road Ahead, she thought that I was in a satanic band.
Yeah, we let you write that song.
Satanic man.
Yeah, that was a really bad experience. But now she's still supportive. Like she sees me like go off every Thursdays when we have practice, and she's like, "Oh, have fun at band practice," and I'm like, "I will. I won't go to jail." No, not ever. I honestly, I think it's like trying to like bring the band into my family mostly. I think my sister actually went to one of our shows. Actually, it was at the Swing State. Actually. Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was like a long time ago.
Where's that at?
It was
nowhere.
Lake Villa?
Yeah.
Like the cutoff between Lake Villa and Gurney.
Yeah. But now it's like a car dealership now. Yeah. But no, now they really are supportive. And yeah, basically that's it.
All right, I guess it's my turn. I guess I don't know. In my younger days, I was more into playing video games. I didn't really care that much about music. It's like I just wanted to play and I wanted to design video games, and basically all I really knew from music was I had this piano that my parents bought me that had classical pieces on it. I used to listen to classical a lot, and I used to listen to a lot of video game music. The first metal band that I listened to was Dragon Force, and that actually really got me into heavy metal because I was just amazed at how like fast those guys played their instruments, and so one thing led to another. Metallica, Sevenfold. Eventually got to Dream Theater, listened to more metalcore bands, listened to Bullet, Breaking Benjamin, All That Remains, got into Black Dahlia Murder a bit, had a death metal phase, came back to Dream Theater, and I listened to a lot of Dream Theater, a lot of Symphony X. I basically became a prog guy from that moment on. Getting into all these really good prog bands, get Between the Buried and Me, Periphery. That's pretty much the music that has really been inspiring me lately. Definitely with Darkness was mostly a Sevenfold Dream Theater vibe I was kind of going with for that album, trying to put my own spin on things, doing things just thinking like, how would these guys do it? As far as my parents go, they don't disapprove of the music. They don't come to any of our shows, and they prefer my solo stuff over my band stuff. So
I'm pretty sure your dad show up to one of our shows, right?
No,
Mm-hmm.
not that I remember.
Oh well.
when you and I played in another band together, my dad was there.
Oh yeah, never mind.
He was never around for MetalBrook show though.
Gotcha.
That's okay.
MetalBrook.
we have enough fans to fill the slots.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned a song that your mom thought was a satanic band.
Oh yeah, let's play that one.
On the road again. On the road ahead. My bad. So let's play that along with another song. So
Oh no.
On the Road Ahead will be one, and then what is
Let's play The Struggle right after that.
Struggle?
No.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Yes, just
Okay.
to offset the song.
perfect? More MetalBrook. Here you go.
Taken away. time is sitting in this chair, contemplating all the things that I've done wrong to you, staring at an empty wall, dissipating. What the hell am I going to do? I know you feel the heartache tearing you down. This is not how it was meant to be. Everything that I am, you now question. Did I think that you would never see? Oh, God gave me a sign that everything will be alright. I don't wanna live in this world without the light in my eyes. Help me see the sky. You're the reason why you've been hurting deep inside. Can I come back from the dark, be reborn again, and save us from the end? Break free and end the suffering. Break free and end the struggling. How far have we come, you and I? Let the memories refill your mind. Find it in your heart. Forgive me. We'll rebuild what we had steadily. I just feel so cornered, so confused. How could I put you through all the lies? I know you want to trust me, heaven knows, but I have to prove myself to be. Oh, let light shine through like it does whenever I'm with you. I don't wanna live in this world without the light in my eyes. Help me see the sky. You're the reason why you've been hurting deep inside. Can I come back from the dark, be reborn again, and save us from the end? Break free and end the suffering. Break free and end the struggling. I'm sorry that I was blinded by myself. I'm suffocating. It's unrelenting. I can see what's right here in front of me. I'll be your savior now and forever. Oh. save us from the end, break free, and end the suffering, break free, and end the struggling, break free, and end the suffering, break free, break free, and end the suffering, break free, and end the struggling. Ooh,
We're Witherer. Hi, Witherer. And we're addicted to metal on the Metal Experience.
This is Justin.
This is Dustin
Austin's J&D,
of the so-called Saints.
or so-called Sense,
Tell your boys.
or smell your boys.
You're listening to the Metal Experience.
Boom.
Woo! We just heard On the Road Ahead and The Struggle.
And that was a struggle for you to remember
Yeah,
what those two
well,
songs were.
Those two songs were completely different in every
Good job.
single way.
On purpose.
Blame the lead singer for
You're
that.
telling me that
great.
you didn't want to show your mom the struggle with your pretty singing voice?
She's actually heard the struggle now that I think about it, because one year for my birthday we did a completely acoustic show. We played 4 songs that we have acoustic versions for, and Struggle was one of them.
And what'd she say?
I don't remember.
I don't think she was there.
She was there.
No.
She was there. I remember she was
Was
there.
she there for the performance?
She was there. I think she saw the struggle, and then she kind of went out to do her own thing.
That's a nice
But
song.
the struggle was the last song we played, though.
I don't remember, man. But I know she's heard it. Anyway.
Well, that's good.
That was a very interesting set of songs.
Thank you.
That's all I got to
Very
say about
emotionally
that.
driven.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was. Definitely was.
Yep. Two very
completely opposite.
different songs on opposite ends of the emotional spectrum.
Yeah.
I liked them.
Sure,
Thank
you
And your
right.
singing,
Thank you.
your singing is beautiful.
I appreciate that.
Well, we have,
Smoking for 3 years kind of fucked that up, but
There's always the time to stop.
Yes, there is a time to stop.
And it's not now. I want to
Speak
smoke.
for yourself,
After this
Greg.
pack.
I will speak for myself, woman.
All right. Well, Luco's not here to do his thing, so
Man,
we're going
fuck
to do
that
his
guy.
thing for him.
Man,
Here
he
we
is just
go.
getting the worst right
He
now.
is.
Yeah,
he
he's a
is.
piece of
Here we
shit.
go.
Now it's time for
Hey man, look what I found!
Only on the Metal Experience.
All right. Well, you heard it. This is Hey Look What I Found, Luco's original segment. And this is brought to you by our friends at Imprint Recordings. Your music, your imprint. And you can visit imprintrecordings.com for more information for all your recording needs.
Hell yeah.
This week we're featuring our second of 3 winners from the latest Reverb Nation contest that we ran back in March. This week we are featuring Once Around. They're from Los Angeles, and we're going to hear their song, Ghost.
Woo! Like the band Ghost? Or
No, like the song Ghost.
It's like a spooky ghost.
Like a spooky ghost.
Yeah,
Here we
spooky
go.
ghost.
Ooh.
It better be good.
Am I above? Flying high. Who am I? Am I enough to be someone like them, like anybody else? What will I become? I think I'm done. I'm looking for a time and a moment I don't feel jaded. I'm not a ghost, I just don't feel right. Clinging to the high when I'm low, look what I created. I'm not a ghost, I just don't feel right at home. Alone as the day's night, the stage is mine. But when I move on, who will carry us? So I don't know what I become. Can anyone tell me? Whoa, I'm looking for a time with a moment I don't feel jaded. I'm drowning now. Look at me, I'm drowning now. I'm drowning now. I'm drowning now. Look at me, I'm drowning now. I'm drowning. Whoa, I'm looking for a time and a moment I don't feel jaded. I'm not a ghost, I just don't feel right at home. Clinging to the high when I'm low, look what I created. I'm not a ghost, I just don't feel right at home.
Hey yo, it's Troy Adams from the podcast Wrestling Society. Every single Wrestling Wednesday, we bring you brand new episodes where we review the best and worst of professional wrestling eras of the past, as well as the biggest current events in professional wrestling and mixed martial arts. Search for us on YouTube, where we have hilarious WWE Network watch-alongs, reviews of terrible shows, and other great content. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PodRes Society, and we're available on all podcast platforms. Come join the Society.
This is Holden Zacharias.
And this is Matt Powers.
We're in Fleshburr, and you're listening to The Metal Experience.
And now a word from D. Reitz of One Steel Wound.
Spoken poetry for the Metal Experience. Eat my cock, eat my cock. Don't spit on it, that ain't classy. Eat my cock, oh won't you eat my cock. No handies, let's get nasty. Eat my ass, stir it with your hands. Eat my ass, spread brown, take me to class. You're listening to the Metal Experience.
All right. Well, once again, the Metal Experience. That was the Hey Look What I Found pick of the week.
Hell yeah.
It was Once Around from Los Angeles, and that was the song Ghost. Check them out on Facebook. And
I'm definitely going to check those guys out.
all of that fun
You said
stuff,
their name
and-
is Ghost, right?
No, they're called Once Around, and that was the song Ghost. And they were, once again, one of our Reverb Nation winners from March. So coming up, we'll have a written interview with them, and we'll also be doing an album review shortly.
Cool.
Got to find time for all this. But that was awesome. All right, we're still sitting here with MetalBrook. There's still plenty of music to play. We've got 4 tracks left for the night.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So just wondering, where can everybody listen to Darkness Is online and all that fun stuff?
We have it available for streaming on Spotify. There's also a stream link on the Hominine Records YouTube channel. You can also listen to it on Spotify and Amazon Prime Music.
Nice.
We don't have it on iTunes, do we? I
We
don't remember
do.
if we do. We do.
Yeah, it puts it on iTunes.
Yeah. But by the way, he mentioned Hominine Records. Hominine Records is the independent label that we all kind of are under. They're a great bunch of guys. They've helped us with promote and get our merch and shows and stuff like that. So.
And what merch do you have currently available for people?
Oh, we got a bunch of stuff. We have album, we have bracelets, shirts, stickers, patches,
dildos.
Yeah, that's
mugs.
Oh yeah,
cup
rugged
holders.
Did you say dildos?
No, we don't.
Greg needs something to keep his mouth occupied.
I need
after
So it
what we
seems.
just heard.
2 dildos.
If you give us underwear, we'll sign it.
There you go.
Put a
Real
little
rock
smiley
stars.
face.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What about shows coming up? Is there anything currently booked?
We have the
The name escapes me, but it
Cairo
is
Ale House.
Yeah, we are playing at the Cairo Ale House in June.
West Chicago?
June. Yeah, in West Chicago, June.
Yes, sir.
I know where that is.
22nd.
I believe so.
Yes.
I'd have to double check. But yeah, so we have that show coming up, and then recently, one of the bands that we played with at our farewell Oasis show, the Eldritch Grimoire. Check those guys out on Facebook.
Eldritch Grimoire.
That's what I said.
You said you mixed up
He
some
said it.
consonants.
He said it.
Eldritch Grimoire. They invited us to do a show at what's that place called?
It's a place with a roof.
I can't remember. I cannot for the life of me remember right now. I'd have to break away and go.
We'll
find
come
these
back
things.
to that, and
Yes.
the information will be given soon. So
Yes.
to keep on with the rest of Darkness is, we're gonna play another couple tracks.
Hell yeah.
What do you want to play next?
Let's play "You're the End of Me" and you pick.
Carry On.
Ooh,
2 good
sounds
ones.
great. Here we go. More music your way.
You are my poison. I choke at your existence. This pain you left me with, I suffer at your presence. I gave my all for you, did all that I could do. Now silence is my nature. Will vengeance be my pleasure? Shut our mind and scatter the places. I'm hanging by a thread, don't wanna go on anymore. to my lungs. Wish you could see the damage that you've done. Please take these memories, meaningless feelings, bury them with my heart, and this world you ripped apart. Shut our mind and scatter the pieces. I'm hanging by a thread, don't wanna go on anymore. I wish it ends. You were my angel, now just a blink to my being. Put one between my eyes, girl, 'cause you're the end of me. We fell together into darkness. I held to you, but when you reached out to me, you let me fall through. I'm hanging by a thread, don't wanna go on anymore. I wish it ends. You were my angel, now just a blink to my being. Put one between my eyes, girl, 'cause you're the end of me. You are the end of I feel the line, it's slipping far from me. My eyes will forever blacken my sight. The blood is trembling. You know you can't endure this pain. I'm just a memory. Take back all you gave to me. Walk down the line.
Well, I expect that type of language at Denny's, but not here. Well, that's too freaking bad. You hear me?
Because we're throwing it back to Morgan and Luco on the Metal Experience.
All right. Greg is done talking, so we are back with the Metal Experience. I am Morgan Danielle, webmaster Greg.
Webmaster.
Co-host tonight.
You tell him, Morgie.
Yeah, we're back. We're here with MetalBrook, and once again, that was two more songs off the album, Darkness Is. We heard...
You're the End of Me was the first song, and Carry On was the second one.
Perfect. Look at that. I just had a pause, and he knew what to do.
Carry on, carry on.
So what are these songs about?
The entirety of Darkness is just that. The album title is the concept of the song. Each song talks about a different darkness that people face. With Immortal, it was the darkness of being recognized and being important and leaving behind a legacy. With Soldiers, it was the darkness of having to face daily struggles, whether you're military or you're just not pedestrian but a civilian. With
On the Road Ahead, it was mostly about
being a pedestrian is kind of a problem these days too.
Always in the way.
God damn, they need to stop skateboarding on the sidewalk.
No, but On the Road Ahead was mostly about. It was funny because I was thinking of something really dark and just something like doomy or stuff. It was mostly just about like overcoming or fighting something that you're about to lose. Like you're just walking in like, yep, I'm gonna die. And it doesn't matter what you do, no matter what you say, it's just gonna end up you either just dying. That's it.
Failing basically.
Angelo.
With some of the other songs, with the struggle is the I guess you could call it the I'm Sorry song. Because that was written when I was in my feelings, and I wrote an I'm Sorry song for whoever I was with at the time. I don't really remember. But I guess the darkness for that one is just looking at yourself and really realizing, like, oh my God, I'm a shit person, With You're the End of Me, it was the opposite of what struggle is, and You're the End of Me was the fuck you song.
Hell yeah.
That's what that song talks about, is just the darkness of having someone or something or a group of people that you just hate, that you just need to
when someone
scream
really
at.
wrongs you.
Yeah, exactly. When someone really wrongs you and you just want to hold a giant middle finger to them
and just burn that bridge to the ground.
Exactly.
Like Nickelback.
Like Nickelback.
Yeah, like Nickelback, right, guys? Yeah. Hell yeah.
I plead the
Morgan?
fifth. Carry On, right after that. Carry On
Can't shit talk
talks
bands.
about moving forward, the darkness of moving forward from like a traumatic experience or like loss or what have you. So that's the darkness of that one. And like I said earlier in the show with Live My Darker Self and My Dusk, that is darkness turned into a story. I think that's every song, right?
Yeah, every song. Yeah.
So the entirety, like I said, the entirety of the album is just exploring different types of darknesses that people face each and every day. And when we were writing the songs, we really wanted to incorporate that.
Are you okay?
Ice Cube was trying to assassinate me. I'm good.
Oh my
See,
God.
right now Kratos facing
You
insanity.
almost lost a guy there.
No, that Ice Cube like literally swan dived into my throat.
Thank God they melt.
Yeah,
Right.
thank God they melt.
Oh God, I'm good.
Kratos facing his own darkness.
Carry on.
The darkness of ice.
But no, so conceptually, that's the entirety of Darkness is the album title itself is word for word. Darkness is ... because every song presents its own darkness, and that's kind of the wordplay that we went with as far as every song title and the content of each song. Darkness is each of these songs. Darkness is whatever you make it out to be.
Yep, exactly.
Nice. Well, you had mentioned earlier in the show that you were kind of working on new music, and you were working on a song to be on the new album that was one of your first songs. When are you expecting maybe to have a second album ready?
Ooh, second album is still a bit away. Right now, we're actually trying to focus on doing an EP.
Yes.
And I think that's where that song will be featured on.
How many tracks are you thinking for the EP?
6.
He held up for your
Yeah.
six. Do
We're
you
gonna
all
say
know?
6. He's usually right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys have 6 songs written right now?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
we've pretty much got them all down and ready to go. Right now it's just time to hunker down and start getting work done.
Yeah, we've already begun the recording process. I've laid down pretty much the majority of my vocal tracks. Coz is, he's always on point when it comes to recording. So all his drum tracks and any like backing music like keys and what have you, those are already done. So it really just falls on these two to throw their stuff on there.
Yeah, when I'm ready.
Yeah, I know, right? When I'm ready, when I feel like it.
No, but I'll be ready to, honestly.
Well, we're looking very forward to that. Is there a shift in ideas for the songs?
Yeah, there's it's gonna be different. Different tunings, different vibe.
Yeah, totally different. We're just like experimenting with something like excess tuning wise, and then just a feel for like a newer sound that we're trying to look for.
Yeah, with Darkness is, like I mentioned earlier, every song is a different genre of metal, but with this,
I'd say for like the most part, Darkness it's like most of it's thrash metal, but a lot of it's.
But that on the road ahead though.
For the, I mean,
that struggle
you got that.
though.
You got that.
What metal is that?
That's your metal.
But no,
there are things that set it apart, but for the most part, we got a lot of thrashy songs on it and a lot of traditional influences, a lot of not bare bones, like raw influences, maybe bare bones influences. That I'm going to go with that, bare bones.
So with this
Hell
EP,
yeah.
And our experimentation with drop tuning, we drop tune to C, which is giving us a lower sound, and it's really, really starting to kind of push the music forward. So we're starting to lean more towards like a metalcore sound, and we're really excited to be working with it. A lot of the newest material that we've written has been in drop C, and we vibe with it every time we play it, and it's such an exciting time to really be taking this new step. So we're pretty stoked.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's good stuff
It's
coming.
definitely going to be more modern.
Oh yeah,
modern. Yeah,
because a lot of like the first album was all standard.
Yeah, we were in standard that whole album.
Yeah, it's just like trying to find those like specific root notes for each song that just kind of like, oh, this sounds good, and then we should start rolling around with it, and then just wow, standard, holy crap, and then that's when the whole drop tuning starts coming in, and then like you said, it's more modernized.
Yeah, it's definitely new territory for us, but with what we've come up so far, just with everyone's efforts, we're looking pretty good.
Good to know. Well, before we go into, once again, your upcoming shows, we've got a few announcements before next week's episode. Starting with Mandatory Abortions is looking for a few vocalists.
What?
First for an album. The music is recorded. They're having guest vocalists write and sing for 1 or 2 songs off the album. So, Greg, you should hit them up.
Mandatory abortion.
They are also looking for a permanent front person who would be able to take over, but preferably
Does he
female.
have to be a doctor?
Preferably female. I guess a doctor's okay, but they are open-minded.
Well, wait. They have to be
Mandatory
a doctor.
abortions.
Yes, they
Needs
have
a
to be a
female.
doctor.
Can be a female doctor. If,
Yes.
Okay.
As
So
long
they're
as
a
she's a
thrash
doctor,
metal,
it's fine.
old school, hardcore band with a little bit of blues. The requirements are that you must be able to make practice at least once a week in the shows that you agree to play.
Where's the practice at?
I think they're in the city. They're off the Pink Line.
Off the Pink
I guess that's ironic if they're looking for a female
That
vocalist.
is like the most like
Yeah.
catfish bait I ever heard in my life.
Just throw on a wig and a doctor's coat, and you're
awesome.
golden.
All right, well, settle down. Before it all went quiet, have the second EP available off of Hominin Records. Am I saying that right? Hominin?
Hamina.
The second EP, Tumera Divine, is available.
Yes.
On YouTube and all streaming services. So
The
check out
YouTubes.
Before It All Went Quiet. Shh, Before It All Went Quiet. Shh. Our friends in Jungle Rot are going on tour with The Absence and Origin and Deicide for the Overtures of Blasphemy North American Tour is starting on the 11th. And they are going to be playing Reggie's May 23rd.
That was the band I was talking. I was trying to
Deicide?
think. Yeah, Deicide. I was like, why did I say Deicide?
Playing earlier.
Yeah.
Deicide's the shit.
Oh, good.
Read on, Morgie Morg.
I am. The Illinois Death Militia presents Summer Massacre 2.
Oh.
And there's a bunch of awesome bands playing this. So I'm
Oh,
gonna
hell
I'm
yeah.
gonna name some of these bands that are gonna be playing Livewire on June 29th. To mark your calendars now. Having Kittens, Murder Complex, Bray Road, Necro Cannibal Ass Grinder. They're from Illinois. We should talk to them.
Woo!
Face the Wheel, Menstrual Munchies from Ohio.
Munchie.
Wow.
Damn.
So some of these names I'm getting
How
familiar
do-
with.
Okay,
Read on.
Summon the Destroyer, Mutilated by Zombies, Legion, and Sexual Atrocities.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What's your favorite
There's a
name?
lot of brutality going on June 29th at Livewire, so be sure to go to Summer Massacre 2.
Oh, wait, I have a question about
I don't
some
have
of those
answers.
names.
Nope. Our friends in Full Metal Militia just posted an awesome video interview with Dan Watson from Enterprise Earth. And that is on their YouTube channel, also on their Facebook page.
The
so you should check
YouTubes?
them out. Yes. And check out Full Metal Media. That is Sean McClellan. He used to be one of our writers.
Hell
doing
yeah,
awesome
Sean.
media stuff still in the metal scene. So go support them. They are awesome.
Yeah,
Our
support.
friends in Wrath are going to be opening up for ex-Iron Maiden vocalist Blaze Bailey at Brower House. That is going to be tomorrow night.
Blaze Bailey.
That's I don't even know what the date is. The 8th, yeah. That's a free meet and greet also with the vocalist in Lombard at Brower House. So check that out if you're
Brower
interested. Shout out to our friends in Small Town Mentality. They are
Mentality.
celebrating their 100th episode this coming Friday, May 10th. So you can check out Small Town Mentality on iTunes, on their Facebook page, see all the other links there. They have their show up. But 100 episodes, that's badass. Good job, guys.
Congratulations.
That takes a lot to get there. Our friends in Hemi have a brand new single, Avalon Averted, and it's a Fixer version, the track that was off of a Fixer remix that they did. So that should be cool. I think it's going to be in one of the films that their friend's producing.
No way.
Sweet. Our friends in Vicious Attack are going to be opening up for the Convalescence happening at Livewire Lounge May 19th next week. They're going to be playing with Jury of Fears and Adrift on River. I don't even know.
Sounds
Sticks?
badass.
Anyway.
It's the drift.
Check that out. That's awesome.
Adrift on River
Also
Sticks.
check out the Evil Dentist in Extraction Point. They're going to be delivering all the brutality and cavities to your mouths.
Who's ready for a root canal?
July 19th. Get ready. We'll be at
Root
Fitz and
canal's
Spare
a punch in the
Keys
mouth.
in Elmhurst. We're sponsoring that show. I am the MC. Blank Standard, Luco's band Architects of Ruin playing with Atlanta is Burning. So
Atlanta is Burning's going to be there?
Atlanta is Burning.
Gee,
is
golly,
gonna be there.
Batman.
So make sure you have your insurance card ready.
Hope you
This
have
could be a
coverage,
very costly experience, even though it says $5. It could be brutal, and you may need to have a tooth extract. So, Extraction Point headline album release show: Purification through Hatred.
Just a big drill.
Make sure you just hate on the dentistry
I hate the dentist, honestly. I
for
despise them.
all your dental needs. And we're excited to finally announce this week we are a part of Feels Fest. We were getting all this information last week when we were interviewing McKenna. So finally released this past Friday. Feels Fest 2019 is happening July 27th at Wire in Berwyn.
No way.
$12
At
in
Wire?
advance at Wire.
Berwyn.
We are sponsoring it. It's with Arabella, Speaking with Ghosts, When We Was Kids, Guardrail, Capital Vices, Novial, Havens, and Glory Days. All
No
the bands are transforming into artists. They're all doing covers.
Wait, they're transforming?
Well, they're transforming. They're doing different
Robots
covers.
in
So
disguise.
there'll be everything from Fall Out Boy, Attack Attack, Silverstein, Taking Back
Oh.
Sunday. So each band is going to do an awesome cover. I can't give away too much as to who's doing what. I know
Spoilers.
I can't do spoilers. I'm sorry, but it's going to be awesome. We'll have a table set up at both the Extraction Point Dentist Fest and at Feels Fest. We'll have a table set up with free swag that you can pick up, and maybe some shirts you can buy. But we do have a ton of stuff we have to give away, so make sure you stop by, grab a bunch of stuff, say hi, and we've got everything from CDs, stickers, shirts. Pins, patches. I don't even know what we have anymore. We have
shirts.
Underwear.
We have shirts,
socks.
You know, we had a band give us thongs, and I think we're out. We might have a few left. I don't even know.
At least
I
those
haven't
bands
been in
have
the
like
bands in
really
forever.
decent names, and then like the other like death metal bands. I'm like, wait, what? Excuse me, mandatory abortion.
Yeah. Well, I knew about them. I had no idea about the menstrual, whatever they were called. Menstrual anxieties. What was that?
menstrual something like.
Yeah, I need
soup,
to look this up
or
again. I don't
was
know.
It menstrual soup.
Menstrual munchies.
Menstrual munchies.
And I'm going to go off on a limb here and say I've heard some pretty disgusting things recently about some weird countries doing. I know this is
Menstrual
probably
munchies?
TMI. People drinking menstrual water to get high.
Really?
Off of
You
like
can do
soaking
that?
tampons in water.
Okay,
So I'm
hold
thinking
up.
maybe that's where they got the name.
Oh.
But I don't know. I'm thinking about hitting them up and asking them.
Have you tried that?
Are you fucking kidding?
No, Have you
If
tried
you're a
that?
female and you see that, you would not drink that. No, thanks. I'm good.
It's like, hey, do you want to go see a band called Sperm Swamp?
I feel sick now.
I mean, I've seen a band called Maggot Twat, so yeah.
Sperm swap.
I'd go see a sperm, whatever the fuck you just said.
She likes the sperm.
So those are my announcements for this week. We're having Consume the Divide back on with us
Oh
next
hell
week.
no! Really?
All
20 of those guys?
I think it's like their fourth time on. I've got to look. Maybe it's their third time.
mariachi band?
We've had them on quite a few times, so it's about time that we caught up with them.
I have offered to play their triangle in the band.
I didn't know they had a triangle.
I'm their triangle player, but I haven't really started yet.
You haven't practiced?
Is it electric?
Yeah.
No, it just
it's
means Greg gets
acoustics.
to hit something.
Acoustics
So,
triangles.
Yeah. And once again, the shows that you guys have coming up, we have all those details now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Shoot.
Sunday, June 23rd, we play at the Cairo Ale House for Summer Mania Round 2.
Where was round one?
Where was Round 1?
Oasis. I'm pretty sure it was Oasis.
Okay.
If anything, it was Oasis. If Angel booked us, then it was Oasis.
Okay.
But yeah, and the second show that we have coming up, we're just waiting on the details and the final lineup, is again at the Cairo Ale House on August 2nd. We'll be playing with our friends in the Eldritch Grimoire.
Sounds like a fairy tale.
I'm still gonna mispronounce that name.
I guess it's a show for the
Breast
dude's
cancer.
birthday. No, not that would be cool though. But no, I guess the lead singer, William something or other, he hit me up and he's like, "Hey man, we're playing a show and I'm getting a bunch of metal bands together. It's for my birthday. Do you guys would be down?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah.
So those two shows coming up.
Yeah, so for Summer Mania Round 2, we're also going to be playing with some bands that we have played with before. This includes, but not limited to, Stay Up All Night and Fight,
Yep.
Motion Picture Mindset,
Yep.
Frequencies,
Yep.
and Deadbeat, I believe. I believe Deadbeat's on the... Yeah.
Word.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice. And then where can everybody find you guys online, give you a like, and listen to Darknesses?
If you want to come find us on Facebook at MetalBrook Official. That's all one word because, URLs. So Facebook.com/MetalBrook Official. You can find us on Instagram at Metal_Brook.
You can find us on Twitter under the same name, the same handle. And you can find us on YouTube as just MetalBrook.
On the WW. The WW.
I like how you use the word handle. Not a lot of people use the word handle anymore.
He's the smart one in the group.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is why we let him handle a lot of the technical stuff.
Sure, you right.
Perfect. Well, we've got 2 songs to listen
Woo!
to. The end of hearing Darknesses is full tonight. What are the last 2 tracks that we're going to hear?
The first one is Relapse. And the second one and final track, the almost title track, I want to say.
I would say it
of
is
the
the
album
title track.
is My Dusk Part 2.
Oh, prepare for yourself for this one, guys.
Of the Darkness trilogy. So Relapse and My Dusk.
If you're doing taxes, just do it right now. This is gonna be a long one.
It's too late to do your taxes.
Yeah, you can't do that until next year, unless you're ahead of yourself, I guess.
Yes. I pay all my taxes 10 years in advance, so I'm good.
Wow. Well, thank you guys so much for driving down and hanging out with us tonight.
No
Be
problem.
sure to
Thanks again for
check
having
out
us.
MetalBrook, listen to their album, and go stream
Hell
it. And
yeah.
give them a like on Facebook. And we will see you back at Fits of Spare Keys next week with a new episode with Consume the Divide.
Consume the divide.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Goodbye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.